World War II wasn't depend on a single superweapon. From 1939 to 1945, World War II saw over 800,000 aircraft take to the skies and turn the tide of history. But among them, an elite few were mass-produced in numbers. Join me as we dive deep into the top 20 most manufactured aircraft of the war. So, let's start with number 20. Lockheed P-38 Lightning, USA, 10,037 produced fighter. The fork-tailed devil, Lockheed's P-38 Lightning, twin Allison V1710 engines with turbos hit 414 miles per hour, its boom design housing heavy armament, a 20mm cannon and 4.50 cals. Versatile for photo recon and bombing, it flew top aces like Richard Bong, 40 kills, and Thomas Maguire, 38. In the Pacific, it downed Yamamoto's plane. Produced in Burbank, its range-suited island hopping. Compression issues at high speeds were fixed, making it a multi-theater star. Number 19. Douglas C-47 Skytrain, USA, 10,174 produced, transport. The war winner hauler. Douglas's C-47 Skytrain, military DC-3. Twin Wright 1820 engines carried 28 troops or 6,000 pounds over 1,500 miles. Eisenhower praised it as one of 4 tools that won the war. It dropped paratroopers on D-Day, supplied Burma's hump, and evacuated wounded. Produced worldwide, its go-anywhere toughness endured. From Berlin airlift precursors to glider tows, the Goonie Bird was logistics backbone. Number 18. Mitsubishi A6M0, Japan, 10,939 produced, carrier fighter. The enigmatic Zero. Ultra-light at 5,300 pounds, its 950 horsepower Nakajima Sakai engine achieved 330 miles per hour and incredible maneuverability. Long range for Pearl Harbor strikes, it dominated early Pacific with 2 cannons and machine guns. But fragile construction, no armor or self-sealing tanks, proved fatal against Hellcats. Produced by Mitsubishi and Nakajima, it evolved to kamikaze roles. A symbol of Japanese prowess, the Zero's early terror gave way to obsolescence. Number 17. Avro Anson, UK, 11,029 produced, trainer, transport, light bomber. The faithful workhorse. Twin Cheetah engines made it reliable for training RAF pilots and navigators across the Commonwealth. It patrolled coasts for U-boats, dropping depth charges. Produced in the UK and Canada, its wood and fabric build was simple. Though unarmed early, later models added guns. Vital for the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan, it prepared thousands for combat, quietly contributing to victory. Number 16. Petryakov PE-2, USSR, 11,427 produced, dive bomber. The Soviet dive master. Twin Klimov engines hit 360 miles per hour, making it faster than many fighters. Accurate in steep dives, it carried 2,200 pounds of bombs, rivaling the Ju-87 Stuka. On the Eastern Front, it struck German columns at Leningrad and Kursk. Female pilots like Marina Raskova flew it heroically. Designed in a prison bureau, production ramped up despite evacuations. Versatile with recon and night variants, the PE-2's speed and payload helped push back the Wehrmacht. Number 15. Vickers Wellington, UK, 11,462 produced, medium bomber. The geodetic survivor. Its unique basket-weave airframe, aluminum strips and a lattice, absorbed battle damage, allowing limps home with huge holes. Twin Pegasus engines carried 4,500 pounds of bombs over 2,500 miles. RAF's main bomber early on, it led night raids on Germany and anti-submarine patrols. Over 400 bombed Hamburg in 1943's Firestorm. Produced in shadow factories, it trained crews too. Though phased out for heavies, the Wimpy, after a cartoon character, proved British ingenuity in adversity. Number 14. Grumman F6F Hellcat, USA, 12,275 produced, carrier fighter. The ace-making machine. Built to counter the Zero, its 2,200 horsepower R2800 and armored cockpit reached 380 miles per hour. 650 cows shredded enemies, crediting it with 5,223 kills, 75% of Navy aerial victories. Introduced in 1943, it turned the Pacific tide at the Marianas Turkey Shoot. Aces like David McCampbell downed 34 planes. Produced rapidly, its folding wings suited carriers. Rugged and forgiving, the Hellcat outclassed Japanese fighters, ensuring Allied naval supremacy. Number 13. Vought F4U Corsair, USA, 12,571 produced, carrier fighter. The gull-winged predator. Its inverted gull wings and massive 2,000 horsepower R2800 engine propelled it to 445 miles per hour, the fastest carrier fighter. With 650 cows and bombs, it achieved an 11-to-1 kill ratio in the Pacific, downing 2,140 Japanese planes. Marines used it for island bases before Navy carriers. Aces like Gregory "Pappy" Boyington scored 22 kills. Produced by Vought, Goodyear, and Brewster, its long propeller required the unique wing design. Tricky to land early on, the Corsair dominated late-war skies, from Okinawa to Korea. Number 12. Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress, USA, 12,731 produced, heavy bomber. The indestructible castle in the sky. 4 Wright 1820 engines gave it a 2,000-mile range carrying 6,000 pounds of bombs. Bristling with 1350 cal machine guns, it flew in tight formations for defense during daylight raids over Germany. The Memphis Belle completed 25 missions, inspiring films. Crews faced negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit cold and flak with innovations like Norden bomb sights for precision. Produced by Boeing, Douglas, and Vega, over 1,000 were lost, but survivors like those returning on 2 engines became legends. The B-17's toughness enabled the strategic bombing that crippled Nazi industry. Number 11. Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, USA, 13,738 produced, fighter/ground attack. The Shark Mouth Warrior. Powered by an 1,150 horsepower Allison V1710, it hit 360 miles per hour and was tough in dives. Famous for the flying tigers in China, where Claire Chennault's volunteers painted shark teeth and scored 299 kills against Japan. Exported to allies, it fought in the desert with the RAF as the Kitty Hawk, strafing Rommel's forces. Variants carried bombs for ground support. Though outturned by Zeros, its armor saved pilots. Produced until 1944, the P-40 bridged early war gaps, embodying American volunteer spirit. Number 10. Hawker Hurricane, UK, 14,487 produced, fighter. The unsung hero. Simpler than the Spitfire, this 1935 design used fabric-covered wings and a 1,030 horsepower Merlin engine for 340 miles per hour. In the Battle of Britain, Hurricanes downed more enemies, 60% of kills, targeting bombers while Spitfires handled fighters. Rugged and easy to repair, it excelled in ground attack with rockets. Produced in the UK and Canada, it fought in North Africa, Malta, and Burma. Pilots like Marmaduke Paddle claimed 50 victories. Though outclassed later, the Hurricane's stability and firepower made it vital, proving that reliability wins wars. Number 9. Junkers Ju-88, Germany, 15,183 produced, multi-role bomber/night fighter/recon. The Luftwaffe's Swiss Army knife. Designed as a Schnell bomber, fast bomber, its 2 Umo 211 engines pushed 300 miles per hour, carrying 4,400 pounds of bombs. From blitzkrieg dives in Poland to night fighting with radar, it adapted to reconnaissance, torpedo bombing, and even missile composites. Produced across Europe, it bombed London in the Blitz and hunted Allied ships in the Atlantic. Night fighter variants with upward-firing guns shredded bombers. Despite early crashes from design flaws, it became reliable. Aces like Heinz Wolfgang Schnaufer, the Night Ghost, scored 121 kills in Ju-88s. Its versatility prolonged Germany's air war, but Allied fighters eventually overwhelmed it. Number 8. North American P-51 Mustang, USA, About 15,586 produced. Fighter. The long-range legend, the North American P-51 Mustang. Originally British commissioned, it transformed with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, 1,700 horsepower, reaching 440 miles per hour, and a 1,650-mile range with drop tanks. This allowed escorts to Berlin, slashing Luftwaffe losses. Armed with 6.50 cals, it achieved a 4.5-to-1 kill ratio. Aces like George Preddy tallied 27 victories. Produced in Dallas, variants like the D model featured bubble canopies for visibility. It fought in every theater, from Iwo Jima to Europe. Affordable at $51,000 per plane, the Mustang's speed and agility made it the war's best piston fighter, credited with turning the air war in the Allies' favor. Number 7. Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, USA, 15,636 produced. Fighter bomber. The unstoppable Jug, America's Republic P-47 Thunderbolt. This beast, the heaviest single-engine fighter at 17,500 pounds loaded, was propelled by a 2,600-horsepower Pratt & Whitney R2800 radial, hitting 430 miles per hour. Armored like a tank with self-sealing fuel tanks, it absorbed massive damage. Stories abound of P-47s returning with cylinders shot off. 8.50 caliber guns made it a strafing monster, dropping bombs on D-Day beaches and German trains. Aces like Francis Gabby Gabreski scored 28 kills. Produced by Republic and Curtiss, it escorted bombers early on, then dominated ground attack. Its turbocharger allowed high-altitude prowess, but thirsty fuel consumption was a drawback. The P-47's durability saved countless pilots, earning it a place as a war hero. Number 6. Yakovlev Yak-9, USSR, 16,769 produced. Fighter. The agile Soviet Guardian, this 1942 fighter was light, all metal with wood spars, weighing under 6,000 pounds, powered by a 1,300-horsepower Klimov VK-105 engine for 370 miles per hour speeds. Excelling at low altitudes on the Eastern Front, it outmaneuvered German foes with a 20mm cannon and machine guns. The most produced Soviet fighter, variants included the tank-busting Yak-9T with a 37mm gun. Pilots like Ivan Kojedub, the top Allied ace with 62 kills, swore by its responsiveness. Produced in harsh Siberian factories, it helped reclaim the skies after Stalingrad. Though range limited, the Yak-9's simplicity and numbers overwhelmed the Luftwaffe, symbolizing the Red Air Force's comeback. Number 5. Consolidated B-24 Liberator, USA, 18,482 produced. Heavy bomber. America's mass-produced giant. Designed for long-range bombing, this four-engine behemoth carried 8,000 pounds of bombs over 2,000 miles, powered by Pratt & Whitney R1830 radials totaling 4,800 horsepower. Faster and higher flying than the B-17, it became the most produced heavy bomber ever, rolling off assembly lines at Ford's Willow Run plant, one every 63 minutes at peak. In the Pacific, B-24s sank Japanese ships. In Europe, they pounded Ploiești oil fields in daring low-level raids. Crews endured freezing altitudes and flak with innovations like the Davis wing for efficiency. Famous missions included the tidal wave attack, where 53 of 177 B-24s were lost. Despite handling quirks, the Liberator liberated Europe and Asia, dropping over 450,000 tons of ordnance. Number 4. Focke-Wulf FW-190, Germany, 20,051 produced. Fighter/fighter bomber. Enter the Butcherbird. Introduced in 1941 by Kurt Tank, it shocked allies with its BMW 801 radial engine, delivering 1,700 horsepower and speeds over 400 miles per hour. Superior to the Bf-109 and early Spitfires in roll rate and firepower. 4 20mm cannons plus bombs, it excelled as a fighter-bomber, strafing Allied convoys and tanks. Nicknamed Werger or Shrike, it ruled the Channel front until the P-51 arrived. Variants like the A-8 carried rockets for anti-bomber duties, and long-nosed D models hit 440 miles per hour. Produced in occupied factories, it faced material shortages late war. Aces like Otto Kittel claimed 267 kills in the 190. Versatile and rugged, the FW-190 was the Luftwaffe's late-war workhorse, a testament to German engineering under pressure. Number 3. Supermarine Spitfire, UK 20,351 produced, up to 22,685 with Seafire variants. Fighter. The elegant defender of the skies. Conceived by Reginald Mitchell, this icon was the only Allied fighter in continuous production throughout the war. Its elliptical wings and Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, up to 2,000 horsepower in later marks, gave it unmatched agility, topping 360 miles per hour and turning on a dime. In the 1940 Battle of Britain, Spitfires tangled with Bf 109s, helping repel the Luftwaffe and saving England from invasion. Famous pilots like Douglas Bader, a legless ace, flew it to glory. Over 20 variants included photo recon models and carrier-based Seafires. Tough in dogfights but vulnerable to ground fire, the Spitfire's grace inspired poetry in posters. It fought from Malta to Normandy, embodying the RAF's motto, Per Ardlo ad Astra, through adversity to the stars. Number 2. Messerschmitt Bf 109, Germany 34,852 produced, fighter. The backbone of the Luftwaffe. This sleek fighter, designed by Willy Messerschmitt, entered service in 1937 and fought until the war's end in 1945. With a Daimler-Benz DB601 engine pushing 1,100 horsepower, it reached speeds of 350 miles per hour and climbed like a rocket. Armed with machine guns and cannons, it dominated early skies in the Spanish Civil War and the Battle of Britain. Aces like Erich Hartmann, the Black Devil, scored 352 victories in the 109, making him the top ace ever. Variants evolved from the nimble B model to the heavily armed G6, adapting to bombers and ground attacks. But its narrow landing gear caused accidents, and later allies like the P-51 outmatched it. Still, the Bf-109's production across factories in Germany, Hungary, and Spain made it a symbol of Nazi aerial might. Number 1. Ilyushin IL-2 Stormovik, USSR 36,183 produced, ground attack aircraft. Topping the list is the Soviet Union's unbreakable beast, the Ilyushin IL-2 Stormovik. Nicknamed the Flying Tank, this ground attack marvel was armored like no other, with thick plates shielding its pilot and vital components from anti-aircraft fire. Powered by a 1,700 horsepower Mikulin AM-38 engine, it could dive at speeds over 250 miles per hour, unleashing rockets, bombs, and 23mm cannons on German tanks and troops. Stalin himself declared the Red Army needed the IL-2 like air and bread, and it became the most produced military aircraft in history. On the Eastern Front, IL-2s decimated panzer divisions at Kursk and Berlin, but at a cost. Over 10,000 were lost, often due to poor high-altitude performance. Pilots like Anna Egorova survived multiple shootdowns, earning hero status. The IL-2 wasn't elegant, but it was a war winner, symbolizing Soviet resilience.